let's see how to calculate percentage change. And to do that, we're going to be working through the two examples that we see on the screen here. And for both cases, we'll be using the formula that I've written in the upper right-hand corner here, which tells us that percentage change is equal to final value minus original value divided by the original value times 100%. And at times, instead of saying final value, we'll speak of future value, in which case we'd say future value minus original value divided by original value times 100%. And don't worry, if you find this formula confusing, it should become perfectly clear with this first example. So for example 1, we're told a gym's membership cost changed from 50 euros to 68 euros. So let's go ahead and calculate the percentage change in cost. First of all, let's make a note of the fact that the 50 euros we have here is the original gym membership cost. So I'll write that the 50 is the original value. And the 68 euros we have here, well, that's the final value. So that's capital FV. And for all percentage change problems, I like to think of it as before and after. So whatever the value was before is the original value, and whatever it is after is the final value. Okay, now that we've made a note of these two values, we're ready to calculate the percentage change. And let's see, we don't have to do this, but I always like to remind myself and whoever's correcting my paper of the formula that I'm using. So here I would go ahead and state that this is equal to exactly what we see in the upper right-hand corner here. So that would be FV minus OV, that's final value minus original value, over the original value times 100%. And I find having the formula right here in my working useful. Indeed, quickly comparing this to the note I made of the original value and the final value, or future value I could also say, we can quickly see that we'll be replacing FV here by 68, and the two OVs we have here by 50. And so we can quickly state that that's equal to future value, so that was 68, minus the original value, which was 50, and all of that's written over the original value again, so that's 50 again. And of course, times 100%. And all that's left to do now is calculate. And so let's see, 68 minus 50, well, that's equal to 18, so we have 18 over 50 times 100%. And now you can check with your calculator if needs be, but 18 divided by 50, well, that's equal to 0.36. So that's 0.36 times 100%. And all that's left to do now is multiply 0.36 by 100. And of course, we make sure to leave the percentage sign at the end. Okay, well, to find 0.36 times 100, all we have to do is move these digits 2 steps to the left. And in doing so, we quickly find that the percentage change, and in fact I'll copy that, there we go, the percentage change is equal to 36%. And that's the answer. The gym membership cost increased by 36%. And I should say, the fact that we got positive 36% is what confirms that we are dealing with a percentage increase. If ever we get something negative as a result, as we're about to see in example 2, then we'd be dealing with a percentage decrease. Here's what I mean. In the second example, we're told that the price of a pair of jeans changed from $80 to $75. And so again, we need to find the percentage change. Well, once more, let's start by making a note of the original value and the final value. And let's see, we were told that the price changed from 80 to 75. So that tells us that the 80 that we have here is the original value, so OV, and that the 75 we have here is the final value, so FV. And now that we've made a note of that, we're ready to calculate the percentage change. And just as I did for the first example, I'll remind myself of the formula. So once more, I copy the formula we have up here, and so the percentage change is equal to the final value minus the original value over the original value times 100%. Again, having the formula right here allows me to quickly see that the future value is 75 and the original value is 80. And so replacing FV and OV by those values, this quickly becomes 75 minus 80 over 80 times 100%. And now calculating 75 minus 80, which is equal to negative 5, this becomes negative 5 over 80 times 100%. And again, using a calculator if needs be, negative 5 divided by 80, well, that's equal to negative 0.0625. And still, we multiply that by 100%. And now to multiply the 0.0625 by 100, we move all the non-zero digits 2 steps to the left. So this becomes negative 6.25%. And as such, we're done. We could go ahead and state that the percentage change is equal to negative 6.25%. And the fact that the percentage change is negative tells us that we're dealing with a percentage decrease, which hopefully makes sense since the price went from $80 to $75. And so negative percentage changes correspond to percentage decreases. And if ever we were asked for the percentage by which the price was decreased, then we could quickly translate this negative 6.25% percentage change to a 6.25% decrease. There we go. So remember, when the percentage change is positive, it corresponds to a percentage increase, and when the percentage change is negative, it corresponds to a percentage decrease. And there we go. That's how we can calculate percentage change, thanks to the formula we've seen here. And that's it for this tutorial.